Hi all, I am Anuja Raj from the PG Department of English, Naipunya School of Management, Cherthala. Today I am going to take a class on criticism. The word criticism always invokes a kind of negative connotation in the mind of everybody who hears it. Usually, everybody will think that criticism is having a negative impact, but it's not the case with literary criticism. Literary criticism can have positive outsets as well as negative outsets. Now, going to literary criticism. It is a magic word, criticism, which always represents a positive and a negative fact, but those who do not know it, they always feel that it is always having a negative impact. Now here we are going to learn about the nature and function of literary criticism. Etymologically, the word criticism is derived from the Greek word critique, which means judgment. It is an exercise in judgment. Literary criticism is the exercise of judgment on works of literature, to examine the merits and demerits, and also to finally evaluate the critical aspect of a literary work is the function of criticism. Thus, literary criticism is the study, discussion, evaluation, and interpretation of literature. Now, going to the further definitions of understanding what is criticism. Literary criticism is the evaluation of literary works in simple terms, and this includes the classification by the different genres, structures, and judgment of different values. Literary criticism asks what literature is, what it does, and what it is worth, says Encyclopedia Britannica. Now, going to the next slide, you can see a lady in the midst of several books. She is reading a book on top of a pile of books. You can see that it is a representation of a critic. A critic is a person who always judges literature based on anything that is seen. So here, what literary criticism is capable of? Literary criticism helps us to understand what is important about a literary text. That is, its structure, its context, that is social, economical, historical, etc., and how the text manipulates the reader. In short, you can see that literary criticism helps us to understand the relationship between the different authors, readers, and also the literary text. The act of literary criticism ultimately enhances the enjoyment of our reading of any literary work. What is criticism? Criticism is the exercise of judgment in the area of art and literature. It is the overall term for studies concerning the defining, analyzing, and evaluating works of literature. It refers to description, analysis, interpretation, and the evaluation of literary works. Literary criticism deals with different dimensions of literature. Some literary critic, of course, takes into consideration the historical dimensions, some take into consideration the biographical aspect, some take into consideration the sociological aspect, and so on. Now, going to the pioneers of literary criticism. Prior to the 20th century, the investigation of the nature and value of literature had a long and distinguished history. It began with Plato and Aristotle and continued to the modern times with such critics as Sir Philip Sidney, he wrote Horace Ars Poetica, then John Dryden, then you have Samuel Johnson, William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and of course Matthew Arnold. Then functions of literary criticism. The function of literary criticism is to examine the merits as well as the demerits or defects of a work of art and finally to evaluate its worth. The chief function of criticism is to enlighten and stimulate a reader. The true critic is one who is equipped with his task for a subject knowledge of that. The true critic can discover the qualities of power, beauty, and depth of significance. He or she gives us a fresh point of view and is sometimes a path breaker in different aspects. As such, the primary functions of literary criticism are interpretation and judgment. Now, going to another important factor to note. It is that the view of criticism is directly related to the critic's own intellectual philosophy or outlook of life. It is determined by the likes, dislikes, and prejudices of the critic, and also it is equally shaped by the socio-political sensibilities of the critic's environment. As such, the critical theories are shaped by the spirit of the age. That means every critic, in spite of having subject knowledge, his economical, sociological, and historical background will play a dominant role in understanding the literature. The qualities of a critic. Here you can see certain qualities or characteristics that are determinant of a critic. He or she must be someone of rare sensibility, and he should have a rare and unique sense of judgment. He must be someone widely read and must have a proper training and technical skill to understand the different branches of literature. He must rise above all prejudices, personal, religious, national, political, or literary, so as to be objective in his approach. He must have imaginative sympathy and should always be insensitive and should always be humane. He must possess a sound knowledge of human psychology and human nature. He must have knowledge in all branches of literature and must get at the mind of the author and have a philosophical mind. And thus you can see that a critic is not a person who always judges the negative aspects. He also judges the positive aspects and also gives an overview on how to read a particular literature. Therefore, criticism has its own positivity as well as negativity. Thank you.